Testing 1, 2. This is a test. So hey guys, Concept Fly Fisher here. So tonight we're going to be tying a number 18 tungsten beadhead zebra midge. So the hook we're going to be using is a Daiichi 1130 number 18. You're going to need tungsten beads. These are from Montana Fly Company. They're in 2.0. And I'm using Danville's fine wire, or you guys need to use extra small. I think I just got that for free somewhere. So for thread, I'm just using black 7 engineer, and primarily I'm using just a curved pair of scissors, and of course you need your bodkin as always, and a wet finish tool. Tonight I'm going to be using my hands because I have no idea where my wet finish tool is. So let's go ahead and grab our hook and grab our bead. And if you have a pair of bead pliers, now would be a good time to use them. I'm going to go ahead and put my hook back down and grab my handy dandy bead pliers. These are bead pliers if you've never seen them. Look like that. Kind of like a reverse pair of tweezers, almost. And yes, they do exist. When I was in grad school, an instructor said, "Hey, I need some bead pliers." And I said, "Here you go." And he goes, "What?" Oh. I was making a joke, and I said, "No, I'm a joke about what?" And he said, "Bead pliers." And I said, "Oh, they actually exist." He goes, "Oh." I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." Anyways. So easy thing is so you've got one side bigger than the other. But when you get to these real small beads, the problem is you can't really tell. So what I'm telling is, when I look at the bead, I see one part that's a solid hole. Hopefully you can see that, a solid hole on one side. If I look at the other side, it is a hole, and then there's another smaller hole in it. So I know that other smaller hole is the back side. So now I'm going to put the pointed hook end that I'm grabbing with my fingers towards the one hole, because I know if I'm going to put any weight on this, which I'm not going to, because the smallest amount of weight I know that there is 0.010, and that's too small for this. So, or too big, excuse me. So, but that's how you understand. That's all I know. So we're going to go ahead and put this in the vise, very last portion of that corner. Make sure it's straight. There you go. Take our thread, start thread base, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 wraps, no big deal. Curved scissors come in handy, cut it. Go ahead and grab my fine wire. This is just a technique I do. Go ahead and stick it through the bead. And I go 1, 2, 3. And I grab this excess wire and I just kind of loose loosen up the bobbin. I pull back until it's in the bead, and then that way there's an even body in the whole thing. I just go back, just keep even reps, about 3/4 of the way, and then I go back all the way up, and I can see the thread is starting to tighten up. What you need to do right here is you need to leave a space, because when you're going to come forward, all the way forward with your wire, what's going to happen is you're going to need a space to tie off that wire. So when you do that, you're going to need to leave a little space and not come all the way forward with thread. So you leave that little space. So when you come back, what you do, stop, not all the way back, but just a little bit ways forward. You come back, and your thread is going to start binding. So you just stop, figure out which way it's rotating, and then aid it in that direction. So now I'm just going to aid in that direction, let it untangle, and now once it's untangled, and it spreads back out. And again, this is 70 denier UTC thread. This is really easy, guys. There's nothing complicated to this. People just think it's complicated because of the small hook. It's real easy. And if you need to, a magnifying glass. Guys, it's really not that hard. All I'm doing here is just going back forward and stop, because again, I know I need to build a thread head behind that bead. It's all about proportion. So now, see right there? So now I know my thread's getting binded up again, so now I'm going to stop. Figure out which direction it's going. I'm going to unwind it. The biggest thing about building these bodies up, especially with midges, is you have to understand when that thread is getting bound up and when it is not. And once you can figure that out, then all you have to do is unwind it. Once you can unwind it and spread the thread fibers back out, it's easy. And then all you have to do is build a back and forth tapered body. So now you can see I'm starting to build that tapered body just by going halfway down, halfway back. So now I'm going to go forward, but not all the way forward, because I'm still saving that space right in the very front for this wire. And I can tell my thread right here, the very top, is not spread out like it should be. Now my thread's starting to turn a lot. So that means, okay, well, I should turn my thread. So now I'm going to turn it, and I'm looking at my thread just below the body of that midge. Okay, so now my thread, the way it's turning in the bobbin, it's not turning a lot, so I know it's pretty close to being done. And I can see the thread just below the midge. It's fanned out decent. And I'm looking at the body, and I know, okay, it's where it should be. Now I just do 1, 2, just do a little half hitch. Now I do 1, and I just do them. I start them evenly spaced. 2, 3, and And as I progress, as a natural, any aquatic insect, they're going to taper in a cone forward, so you need to spread out the wraps as they go forward. So you want to start smaller in the rear and then widen your wraps forward. So it looks good to me on my side, but what I want to do is turn it and see that doesn't look good. So what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to get nitpicky. So now I'm going to just wrap it. And that's the thing about tying flies, guys, that I want you to understand. Nothing in nature is perfect, so your fly tying does not need to be perfect. I had to learn that lesson about 3 years after I started, because I got to a point to where I thought fly tying was nothing about perfection, and that's what I thought fly tying was about, and it's not. Always remember that. So now I've made those 3 wraps after I've got my wire up in front. I've made those 3 thread wraps over the wire. As you wrap over everything, it's always 1, 2, 3 wraps over, secured in place. Now I'm letting my bobbin hang. That's all you need. You need the weight from your bobbin and that pressure to hang. And you take your material, you can cut it, which I don't recommend. You can cut it with nail clippers, or you can do what I call the helicopter. Just turn it, comes right off, real easy. And then if you have a whip finish tool, use your whip finish tool. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can do 3 4-turn whip finishes. Don't let it mess up like that. That's exactly what I'm talking about, guys, right here. Perfect example. And right there proves my point. So that's an even, I love this. This is my, and I hope this is a video that makes it to my page. My perfect point. Nothing is perfect in nature. So what we think is perfect is not. We strive for perfection on our flies, but like, see those little hairs hanging off right there? That's exactly what's going to be hanging off the fly, because they're actually coming to the surface from their larval stage into emergence to come to adult stage, and then they've got all this stuff hanging off. This is what's actually happening. So this is great. So there it is, guys. Number 18, effective, just one of the most effective patterns I've ever used anywhere. Alaska 048, in the exact size, in the exact form, silver, extra small wire, 2.0 millimeter bead, Daiichi, 1130 size 18. There you go. Constant fly fisher. Enjoy, guys. Tight lines.